All right, welcome everyone. Today we're doing a deep dive into, well, I guess you could say the world of Elon Musk.
Yeah, this should be interesting.
It really should be. We've got his Wikipedia page, we've got articles, even stuff from Tesla's own website. But our mission today is to sort of go beyond just the headlines you see everywhere,
Yeah.
to really try and understand what makes this guy tick,
Hmm.
who he is, what drives him, and, his impact, really, on the world.
It's a fascinating story. I think, it's not just about, the technology or business,
Right.
but it's this ambition, right?
Yeah.
This risk-taking and
Mhm.
relentlessly kind of pushing those boundaries.
He definitely seems to capture the public's imagination.
Yes.
So let's start with the beginning.
Okay.
Pretoria, South Africa.
Right.
Young Elon, already showing signs of being, well, a little different, taught himself to code at 9 years old.
9.
9.
9.
Yeah. And get this.
Okay.
By 12, he was selling his first computer game.
Oh, wow. That entrepreneurial spark was there very early on.
Yeah, like right out of the gate. Now, his Wikipedia page does mention a pretty difficult childhood,
Mm-hmm.
and he seems to have found some kind of escape, or solace, I guess you could say, in books.
Okay.
Sci-fi classics.
I see, yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, nice.
Foundation series.
All right, yeah, I know those.
And it's interesting to think how these influences actually kind of shaped his worldview.
Oh, yeah, for
Like
sure.
escaping into other worlds idea,
Yeah.
like building a better future, that's a recurring theme. And
Yeah.
we'll see that as we go along here.
Okay.
Now, at 18, he moves to Canada,
Mm-hmm.
ends up eventually at the University of Pennsylvania,
Okay.
earns degrees in economics and physics.
So quite a well-rounded education.
Yeah, it's not like he just went for, one specific track.
Right.
And yet he drops out of Stanford's PhD program after like 2 days
Oh.
to launch his first company, Zip2.
It's almost like the traditional path couldn't contain him,
It really couldn't, yeah.
or wouldn't.
Or he wouldn't let it. So this Zip2,
Right.
one of the first online map and direction services.
Really?
It's fascinating to think back then, back in the mid-90s.
Oh, yeah.
This is way before smartphones. GPS wasn't commonplace.
Yeah, definitely not.
And he's already working on this.
It's a real insight, I think, into Musk's thinking. Even back then, he was seeing the potential of this online mapping. And later, of course, he's going to use that technology to revolutionize the automotive industry with Tesla's nav system.
Yeah.
So there's this, this pattern of connecting these seemingly different ideas and making them innovative.
Yeah, it's like he's seeing things other people aren't seeing
Exactly, yeah.
and putting them together in this way that, other people haven't thought of yet.
Yeah.
Now there's a little bit of a gray area
Okay.
surrounding Musk and his brother. Their early days in North America, they reportedly arrived with like $2,000.
Oh, wow.
And some sources even suggest they might have been working illegally for a while.
Oh, interesting.
There's this Washington Post article from 2024 that kind of goes into this, raises questions about, how he navigated all those early challenges and still managed to build his empire.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reminder that even, the most successful people often have to hustle, bend the rules a little bit to get ahead.
Yeah.
So Zip2 eventually sells to Compaq for over $300 million.
Wow.
Not bad for a couple years' work.
That's incredible. I mean, that must have given him, a boost of confidence, to say the least.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And paved the way for his next venture, X.com,
Right.
which, as you know, merges with another company to become
Let me guess. PayPal.
PayPal. It's the platform that changed the way we think about online payments.
And I think, crucially, it gave him the freedom, financial freedom, to really pursue these bolder, more ambitious projects. It's the launch pad for everything that comes next.
Okay. So now we've got Musk with, let's just say a mountain of cash from the PayPal sale. This is where it gets really interesting. He takes this fortune, this mountain of cash, and he decides to build rockets.
Rockets. Yeah.
It just seems like a big leap, even for Elon Musk.
Yeah, it might seem that way, but if you look a little bit closer at it, there's this consistent thread in everything that he seems to be doing.
Okay.
There's like he wants to solve these big problems, existential problems, really facing humanity.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Explain that to me a little bit more.
So with PayPal,
Right.
he tackled this like the financial system, how inefficient it was.
Mm-hmm.
But with SpaceX, it's more like the potential that will be wiped out,
Okay. Yep.
some catastrophic event.
Yeah.
And we're just stuck on this one planet.
Okay.
He's really looking at the long game, the really big picture.
Yeah.
That's kind of what makes him different.
So SpaceX wasn't just about like launching satellites or making more money. He was trying to like literally save humanity.
Exactly, yeah. He said that his goal is to make life multiplanetary
Okay.
and that Mars is like step one. And while it might sound like science fiction, I mean, he's actually making some pretty incredible progress.
Yeah, and they've had, I mean, incredible successes with that Falcon 9.
Oh, yeah.
Landing those rockets back on Earth, it's like something out of a movie.
Like reversing gravity, right.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But those reusable rockets, I mean, they really did change the game. Lower the cost of space travel so much. It was a gamble, big gamble,
Yeah.
but it paid off. Now, SpaceX is like a main player in the space industry. They even have contracts with NASA now, transporting cargo and crew to the International Space Station.
It's pretty wild to think about how far they've come, and now they're pushing even further with that Starship program.
Yeah, for sure.
Deep space missions, going to Mars and beyond, but they're retiring the Dragon capsule, the one that's been doing all this work so far.
I know. It surprised a lot of people. It seems weird, right? Like, why stop production on something that's so successful?
Yeah.
But they're looking way ahead, SpaceX, that is. They're really focused on this Starship, which is designed to be fully reusable.
Yeah.
And it can carry way more. So it's about constantly innovating, disrupting their own successes.
I think it's really interesting that that NASA chose SpaceX to eventually deorbit the International Space Station.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of trust in their capabilities, and that would not have happened like a decade ago.
Not a chance.
Hmm.
But SpaceX has totally changed the game.
Yeah.
What's possible in space, lowered the costs, challenged how everyone was thinking about it. Other companies are now investing more in space exploration because of them.
So while all this is happening with SpaceX, he's also simultaneously revolutionizing the automotive industry with Tesla.
Right.
Right.
This is where his whole, sustainable future vision comes into play.
Okay.
Electric vehicles, I mean, they weren't, brand new. It wasn't a new idea.
Okay.
But Tesla just brought this level of design and performance and technology that really caught everyone's attention, made electric cars cool, something people actually wanted.
Yeah. You don't see them as just, cars. It's like the status symbol now, like a tech gadget, but on wheels.
Yeah.
And that's been key to their success, really.
It's really smart marketing. You
Yeah.
know? Tap into that, those early adopters, people who want the best, the newest thing,
Yeah.
and use that to get that big demand.
Now, let's be real. Tesla's growth hasn't come without some hiccups along the way.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of challenges.
We've got lawsuits,
Mhm.
production delays, and a lot of questions about his management style.
Right. Right. Concerns about employee burnout, some allegations of safety issues at some of the factories. And there's, of course, that whole acquisition of Solar City,
Oh, yeah.
which some people saw as basically a bailout of his cousin's company.
And then there's that tweet back in 2018, the one where he said he had the funding to take Tesla private.
Oh, that one. Yeah. That shook things up for sure. Led to an SEC investigation. Big fine. Had to step down as chairman of Tesla. Though he is still CEO, I mean, it makes you think about, his impulsivity and the consequences. Do you think he learned from that?
Well, I mean, he did win that lawsuit against the shareholders who said that tweet cost them billions.
That's true.
But it definitely shows the risks of his well, let's just say his unconventional way of doing things.
He's always pushing the limits.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes it means crossing that line.
Yeah.
That's what makes him so fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
But also a little unpredictable.
And we haven't even gotten to Neuralink,
Oh, yeah.
the Boring Company, or his takeover of Twitter, which he immediately renamed X.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's almost like he needs to have multiple things going on at once, each one bigger and bolder than the last.
Yeah, it's like he's building his own vision of the future, piece by piece.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those pieces are, well, pretty wild, like Neuralink. Brain-computer interfaces. That's straight out of, sci-fi.
It sounds like it,
Yeah.
but they're actually making real progress.
Really?
Yeah, it's this brain-machine interface is what they call it. Tiny device. Implanted in the brain, it records neural activity and potentially can stimulate it too.
Whoa.
So the first goal, at least, is to help people with paralysis
Oh, okay.
to control computers
Mm-hmm.
or even prosthetic limbs just with their thoughts.
That's incredible. I mean, that's going to raise a lot of ethical concerns.
Oh, yeah, tons. Privacy issues, potential for, misuse, and even, what does it mean to be human if we're, merging our minds with machines?
Yeah, it's a lot to think about.
It is, and it's even more complicated because Neuralink is being investigated by the feds for possibly violating animal welfare rules during their research.
Oh, wow. So it's both amazing and kind of terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you've got the Boring Company. They're
Yeah.
literally digging tunnels under cities
I know, right?
to try and fix traffic.
It's such a Musk solution. Bold, unconventional, and, could really change things. Some projects have been scrapped, but that Las Vegas loop, I mean, it's actually working and it's expanding.
Yeah.
So it's not just a crazy idea.
And of course, we can't forget his takeover of Twitter.
Oh, yeah. X.
Right, X. I mean, that was huge. And it's been pretty crazy ever since.
It has. It's been fast, too. So many changes so quickly.
Layoffs, new features. And he's very hands-on with the whole content moderation thing.
It's been a whirlwind for sure. And I don't think we've seen the end of it yet. There's been a lot of controversy, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Accusations about allowing hate speech,
Yeah.
promoting conspiracy theories, even using it to attack his critics.
Yeah.
And then he's gotten into some legal battles, like X is suing Media Matters now for reporting on ads being next to anti-Semitic content.
It's a lot. It seems like he really sees X as more than just a social media platform.
Oh, yeah. He wants it to be like a digital town square, a place for free speech and open dialogue. But his critics say, he's not protecting people enough from harassment and misinformation.
It's tough. There's really no easy answers there. And this is all, it's hurt the company's value, too. Like, estimates are way down since he took over.
Yeah, it's too early to say what's going to happen long term. But he's definitely shaken things up. And that seems to be what he does. Disrupt, innovate, and take those big risks that other people just wouldn't.
It's interesting, too, how he uses, his public image to promote his companies and stuff. He's always tweeting.
Yeah.
Sharing his opinions on everything, like
Yeah.
COVID lockdowns to AI.
He really knows how to use social media to, to shape the narrative.
And he's not afraid to be provocative either. It's like he wants you to disagree with him.
It's part of his brand, for good or for bad.
Yeah.
He's the rebel genius, right? The guy who doesn't follow the rules, challenges everything. And a lot of people love that.
Yeah, and I mean, he was Times Person of the Year. He's constantly on those most influential people lists. He even released a rap song about Harambe the gorilla.
No way, really?
Yeah, and an EDM track, too.
Wow. He just doesn't fit into any one category. He's not just, a tech CEO or entrepreneur. He's like a cultural icon. People quote him, they debate him, they even, try to be him.
So what does it all mean? What have we learned from, taking this deep dive into the world of Elon Musk?
Well, I think one of the biggest takeaways is that there's no easy answer when it comes to innovation or leadership.
Right.
Musk is really complex. He's contradictory, doesn't follow the rules. He's brilliant and ambitious and driven, but he can also be impulsive, reckless, and sometimes, kind of cruel.
Yeah.
He's got these huge dreams and takes huge risks, and he's not afraid to fail.
Mm-hmm.
He's pushing the boundaries of technology and making us think about what's possible.
But like you said, it comes at a cost.
Yeah. Every innovation, there's ethical questions, environmental impact, and it affects people too.
Yeah.
We have to decide, I think, if the ends justify the means with everything he does.
It's a question we're going to have to keep asking ourselves as Musk keeps, reshaping our world. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.